All right, let me get some calls here. Scott, Florida, you're on the Wilkow Majority. Hello.
Hey, Andrew. Let me start by saying I'm a gun-toting liberal. Hunt every day they allow me by law, and I think that was an idiotic comment. I can't put my name on who made that comment, but obviously that's not the stance that most people would take. Michael Moore is kind of out on a limb, but the reason I'm calling is that, by and large, the reason I listen to your show, the reason I think a lot of Democrats listen to your show is because you're so good on the numbers. You don't really fudge the numbers. You have real good economic ideas and theories. You know economics 5 times better than I do. There's no doubt about that. But I am a little disappointed in your conversation with Mike that you kind of dismissed what he was trying to say was that we have added 100,000 new private sector jobs in every month of 2010 on average, and that should be counted, in a rational discussion on how the stimulus,
So if the president had an idea to add jobs, I should always support it.
No, what I'm saying is
because wait, hold on. You said I know something or a thing or two about economics. I got a great idea for the president to add jobs. Easy. We're gonna cut the size. We're gonna have Ray LaHood and the Department of Transportation cut the size of delivery trucks in half. No more 18-wheelers. We're gonna split them in half, and they're only allowed to be on the road 4 hours at a time. Do you know how many trucking jobs would be created if we could cut the trucks in half and only allow drivers to drive for 4 hours?
I don't think any of the stimulus jobs that were initiated by the government were meant to be long-term jobs. Now, this is
whoa. You're wrong about that. You're wrong about that.
Okay, well, I may
Bill
be wrong
Clinton,
about that.
no, hold on. Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama have all said that infrastructure spending creates millions of jobs, putting people back to work. Who on earth sells the idea that we're going to spend all this money so people could be out of work when the spending is over?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the infrastructure projects were simply that. They were projects. And when the project is completed, that job is finished.
Yeah, but once the government realizes there's political popularity in the projects that must be built, they start looking for the projects that can be built, which is anything that they want to spend money on, since the government can get capital through coercion.
That's one of your best arguments, is that the government should not pick winners and losers. But this is the point I'm trying to make. You and most people on the right, whenever someone brings up the private sector job growth that matches Bush's best private sector job growth, eliminating his last 2 years, you cite the 8% number. And you and I both know, or I would assume that you know, that that number was given before Obama even took office. And had Valerie Jarrett known that we would lose 500,000 jobs the first 4 months of his presidency.
But these are the smartest people in the world. They couldn't possibly have screwed this up.
Andrew, let's not get cynical. The CBO gave us the same number.
The CBO gives us whatever numbers they give them to give us.
That's you and I both know that's not the case.
It is the case. The CBO scores what they're given. The Congressional Research Service scores differently.
Let me ask you this. Do you or do you not agree that had we known we'd lose 500,000 jobs in his first 4 months per month, that would have been factored into the 8%, the 8%?
How could this? No, we were told this is the smartest man to ever get elected, and he was going to assemble the brightest and biggest brains on the economy. That was Christina Romer and Larry Summers. Scott, you're honestly trying to tell me that I'm the idiot. Hold on. You're trying to question me when it's them who sold themselves.
No, this is what I will say. Anyone that said he's the smartest president ever should have been fired. Nobody should say a categorical statement like that. But what I'm trying to get at is that you know when that 8% number was given. We did not have the forecast for...
Then they shouldn't have given it.
That's a better argument. But the argument...
Scott, the problem is with economics. Do you know the term opportunity cost?
I don't, actually.
If you buy product A versus product B, the cost of product B is the opportunity cost. That's what you didn't buy.
Right.
When the government decides how money is going to be spent, the opportunity cost is what the private sector would have done with it. We have no idea what could have been done with that $862 billion because it was taken out of the hands of the private sector and they can't spend it now. When President Obama acts like the government planted the seeds of the internet, the only thing the government does is stifle creation. It doesn't enhance it. The private sector. Tell me tell me the government's responsible for the assembly line or the cotton gin or the printing press or flight for that matter.
No, and I'll agree with you that the idea that we have to invest in innovation is a pretty convoluted argument. But what I would say is this. The argument right now is, did the stimulus work? And for someone like you, that I know you know these numbers, you know we added a substantial amount of private sector jobs.
Break it down. Break down $862 billion divided by the number of jobs you claim were created, and tell me if it was worth it.
Andrew, this is one of the things that sort of gets my ire up, and I love your show, and I really respect you as a pundit. You and I both know that $860 billion, that 40% of that was tax cuts. Another 40% was aid to states. There was only 20% in
aid to states is still spending.
But Andrew, the point you're trying to make is that where are all the jobs for $860
You can't call a tax, sir. You can't call a tax. You can't say, if you're government and I'm the taxpayer, okay, you can't call not taking more money away from me, okay, okay, you can't call it spending on me when you don't confiscate as much money as you've liked to. Okay, that's ridiculous. Here's the problem, Scott, and I got to let you go with this. If the stimulus package was such a great idea and such a success, why did the president call our infrastructure second rate last night?
Well, between you and I, that's to push new improvement, obviously.
Okay, so in other words, the spending never stops. Thank you for the call. That's the thing. The spending never stops. It never stops. Death, taxes, and roads. 1-866-95-PATRIOT.